In today's video, we're gonna look at all the vehicles that I've owned throughout the years. So let's take a drive down memory lane. Hello everyone and welcome to Marty Motoring. I thought this would be a fun video to do and a good way to end 2020. It's been a crazy year. I was just reminiscing a little bit and I thought about all the vehicles I've owned in the past and now, and it just got me thinking, why not make a video and list all those out? A lot of you came here because of my Lexus, but there were many vehicles before that and some after that, so let's take a look at them. So the first vehicle I ever bought, I was 17 years old, working part-time. I wanted a Honda, but I got a 2000 Saturn SL2 manual. Now, growing up, I always liked cars and driving games and everything, so I couldn't wait to get my license and drive. I got my license at 16 and I drove my parents' cars and my older sister's car for a while, but I needed to get my own, so I saved up and I bought a Saturn SL2. It was green, which wasn't a color that I liked, and it had a tan interior, which also wasn't the interior color I liked, but it was affordable and it got decent gas mileage. It did need a flex pipe replaced at some point. It had some timing and cam issues, and eventually it had oil consumption issues, which made it die. I think I was my second year in college when it died. So after that car was scrapped, I didn't have a ton of money. I was in college. I was working very part-time. So I went and bought a cheap Subaru Impreza. That was a 1996 Subaru Impreza L, just the sedan, all-wheel drive, drum brakes in the back, disc brakes in the front. Wasn't anything nice to look at. Clear coat was peeling. It was also green with a tan interior. It was automatic this time, which was not what I wanted, but this is what I could afford and I needed a vehicle. So I sanded the whole thing down and spray painted it flat black, which was a terrible idea. First time I ever done body work, but that car got me into modding cars. I changed the stereo out, I put a subwoofer in it, I did a lot of rice mods on that thing, and I just had some fun with that car until I eventually sold it and we moved on to the next car. Since I had started a new job, I had some money to spend, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot just because I'm really frugal like that and cheap, honestly. So I went and bought a 2003 Subaru Outback wagon. So this was manual again, it was all-wheel drive, it was a little higher up, it was a wagon so it could fit all of my music equipment because I was a musician, I was playing music and I wanted to have that space. I did a lot to that car, including unequal length headers. I put some nice OZ wheels on it, and then I went into an off-road phase where I lifted it and put bigger wheels and tires on it. And I had that thing for 3 years. I did so much to it and it lasted, it was great. The all-wheel drive was great in the snow and I just couldn't complain. Eventually I sold that to my brother, wanted something a little more sleek, and I got a 2005 Subaru Legacy wagon. Now this was a base model. It had a Frankenstein engine because it was definitely faster than some of the other 2.5s I've driven. It was light, not very well taken care of, so I ended up selling that and I got pretty much the same thing, but way nicer, the limited version. It was manual, all leather seats, super nice interior, very well taken care of. I did a lot of cosmetic mods to it, but I could not put my unequal length headers on it because it was a California emissions model. So it got terrible gas mileage and it was really slow. So after about 8 months, I got rid of that and I sold that to a guy who eventually ended up building it to like 420 horsepower. And I got a Toyota Sequoia. Somehow I got onto the Toyota SUV thing. I wanted a big SUV, I wanted a V8, I wanted 4-wheel drive. I bought this Sequoia and did some stuff to it, had a good time with it. And then I got a new job at the time. So I was, in my head, I need to get a sports car and it should be a Subaru. And I don't know why I was thinking that. But I went and bought a Subaru BRZ 2013. Yes, the year with issues. It was 6-speed manual, rear-wheel drive, sporty looking. I kind of fit inside of it. It got okay gas mileage. It wasn't super fast or anything. So about 7 months after doing some mods like unequal length headers, a tune, one day the timing just jumped while I was on the highway and the engine went. So after about a month and a half dealing with Subaru, it was still under warranty because it was only 3 years old. The warranty was about to run out, so they replaced the long block. And I said, you know what? I don't want to deal with this thing anymore. If it goes again, I'm screwed. And I really didn't trust it. I mean, had a fresh engine, but who knows what could have gone wrong. So I traded that in for what many people know my channel for, the 2007 Lexus IS 350. Now I made a few videos in 2017 when I got that, but it wasn't really till 2018 that I started doing more videos and building my channel. I sold the Sequoia and then I traded in the BRZ, so I had one car, the IS 350. I told myself I wasn't gonna mod it, and you know, the mod started right away. It replaced the headlights, and that led to everything else that I've done to it throughout the years, and pretty much built my channel on that car. That car led to so many cool Lexus opportunities like Lexus F Day. So I can't say anything bad about it. And I ended up selling that in July of this year, 2020. Now rewind a little bit. I also bought and sold a 2005 Forester, a 2000 Toyota Sienna, which I used for rollers and hauling parts. And then I also bought and sold a 2003 Pontiac Vibe GT. And I actually also had a winter beater. The first winter I had my IS350, I bought a 1995 Subaru Impreza manual all-wheel drive with winter tires. So that thing was great in the snow. It handled awesome, but the clutch was going slowly. And after winter, I ended up selling that to Bring It Muscle Cars, who then turboed it and I think blew it up. And then October 2019, I got in my head that I really wanted another Toyota SUV, a 4x4, something bigger and more like long-term vehicle, newer. And I landed on my 2014 Toyota 4Runner SR5 Premium, and I've had that since. I've done a ton of videos on it. It's lifted, it's got bigger tires. It's been a great practical daily and awesome in the snow. Kind of need that here in Pennsylvania. And so for a while I rocked the Lexus and the 4Runner. Now when I got the 4Runner, I kind of knew it was going to be a replacement for the Lexus in a way. I didn't want to get rid of the Lexus, but it kind of ran its course on my channel. I didn't want to do too much more to it just because it's sinking money into a depreciating asset. There wasn't many videos I hadn't done other than supercharging it. And after talking with Rafi of RR Racing, he said, yeah, engine with that high mileage, you have to do compression check. It's just not really smart to do a supercharger on a higher mileage engine like that. So I sold the Lexus, just rocked the 4Runner for like a week. And in that week, I test drove some other cars. I really had that itch for a sports car. And with YouTube doing well and my job doing well, I figured, hey, I can probably get another car for the channel. Of all things, I landed on the Camaro SS that I have. 2013 Camaro SS. It's a 2SS with a performance package. It's a V8 LS3 engine, 6-speed manual. The Camaro is so fun. There's a huge community, tons of mods. Same thing for the 4Runner, huge community, tons of mods. So these are two vehicles that I'm really happy to have and have on the channel, and I hope I can continue to keep modding them in the future and doing YouTube videos on them. I've had so much fun so far. Who knows how long I'll hang on to either of these with my track record, but I think the 4Runner is going to stay for quite a while. There's so much to do to it and to do with it. Same thing with the Camaro. So I never like to go overboard. If you follow my channel, you know that my builds are pretty simple and clean. I like functionality and form. I don't like sacrificing one for the other. So we'll see where it goes. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm almost to 20,000 subscribers. It's hard to believe. I just started this 2 years ago and I'm at 20,000. And I have two awesome vehicles I really enjoy and so many more opportunities coming. I've worked with some great companies, and 2020, although it's been rough, it's also been a good year. So I really can't complain. But this is a good video to wrap up the year. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, support the channel, follow along. I would really appreciate that. Follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring. And as always, keep those wheels turning.